The law of assumption is a popular lingo used with law of attraction practitioners and gurus. But within this law lies some very dangerous traits that you have to be careful of. If you want to use the law of assumption for your spiritual work, take these next tips carefully in mind. Namaste, Sacred Masters. I'm Dr. Awaz Ukehi, Shadow Work NLP Manifestation Coach, and I'm here to help you with your shadow work and manifesting questions, as well as give you tips on new ways you can practice your self-growth. So don't forget to subscribe for Grabovia numbers on Tuesdays, Pick a Card Shadow Work on Thursdays, and Shadow Work Manifesting Tips on Sundays, so that you don't miss anything that can improve your life and find your light in the darkness. Today, we're going to talk about the law of assumption. The law of assumption is mentioned in the teachings of Neville Goddard, who is a very popular and amazing thought leader in the spiritual movement. However, like many spiritual teachers, their words are often eschewed by others in order to profit from his name. The first thing I want to cover is that the law of assumption is not a universal law. There are only 12 laws of the universe that are intrinsic, unchanging laws from ancient cultures that function for perfect harmony and order by virtue of them, so the universe exists. Take a look at these 12 laws if you want to learn about it. You can find it on my video link above or description below. I think it is okay to call it the law of assumption. You can call it anything you want. But first, be mindful and aware that the law of assumption is a tool within the law of attraction, which it is a universal law, but the law of assumption is not an actual universal law. That said, the idea of the law of assumption is that in order to manifest anything you want, you must assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. You have to assume you already have the nature of your desire. Basically, pretending that you have already achieved your aim. Now, on a scientific level, this resonance actually does work because you're basically firing off your reticular activation system, the RAS in your brain. However, half-truths and teachings by those who do not study or contemplate on this enough can lead to some dangerous effects. I'll list down some of them and how to correct your course if you want to use the law of assumption. The biggest challenge with the law of assumption is that mired and flawed teachings discourage you away from one of the universal laws, the law of inspired action. Like the name states, it is when you feel a strong inner urge to go out and do something. It is taking the next steps of your desires and going out to achieve it. The law of assumption states that you have to live your life as though you have it already. The money in the bank, the love of your life. But to get money in the bank, you have to go out and build your business. To get the love of your life, you need to build a relationship with them. To merely just assume puts you in a mindset that you already achieve it. Thus, many people don't actually take the steps in order to manifest their desires. They sit and wait for it, acting as though they already have them. So, how do we correct our course if we want to use the law of assumption? Rather than just sit with the feeling and act as if, use the law of assumption as a starting point to boost your confidence. It is not meant to be used all the way until you achieve it. Sitting down and doing nothing will not help at all. Suppose you want to have a lot of money in the bank. First, assume that you already have it. And when you sit with this feeling, you know what it is like to have money in the bank. This is great to check in with yourself daily whether this is something that you do want. You'll be surprised because sometimes more money means more problems. But the next course you need to take is taking inspired action. Create the steps needed to receive the money. Money is a frequency to the universe. It is a currency we use in our physical world, but in order to get the money, you have to create something of value as an exchange. Frequencies are all about giving and receiving. So while the law of assumption is great, make sure you use it as a starting point and not a final law. You can even check out how the universe works in terms of frequencies and currencies when it comes to money by checking this video out. You can find it on the link here and the description box below. It is the exact same thing with relationships. Suppose you're sitting there, assuming you already have the person you dream about. This can be very creepy because imagine if someone else was doing that to you. Everybody has free will. Use the law of assumption to sit with this feeling and know that this is what you want. But ultimately, you would still have to get out of your house, you would still have to build that relationship, and you would still have to go on dates, vacations, whatever you want. Build. The law of assumption is great when it comes to setting goals and giving you confidence and directions to your manifestations. But use it on its own, without paying attention to the real 12 laws of the universe, and you end up disappointed and jaded. Even if you receive money, even if you receive the love without doing anything and just using the law of assumption, if you don't work to build and maintain these things, they will go as fast as they come. Your money will be spent. Your love will be bored by having no connection with you. So remember, build. The law of assumption is a tool. It is a principle you can use to help you, but you must act upon it with the understanding of the 12 laws of the universe. It is not a law unto itself. Imagine that the law of assumption is like riding a bike. You imagine yourself getting on it, knowing where you want to go, and assume you will be getting there safe. You have to do it, right? But in order for your manifestations to work, you need to get on a bike, you need to put the key in it, start the ignition, grip your clutch, change gears, release clutch to your sweet spot, rev up the engine. And when you brake, you need to put your feet down, know the position of your bike, check mirrors, and be prepared for oncoming traffic behind you. To get to your destination, you will have to do all of that. Assuming you are there already in your bike and just taking off without the knowledge can be dangerous. Accidents happen that way. Another danger of claiming the law of assumption is the only law is that if it is not working for you, common problem spiritual teachers say is that you're not focused, you're worried about the wrong things, you're not persistent enough, and you have limiting beliefs. This is all true. But the danger is when they tell you to fake it and just ignore it. You can't ignore it. That's why shadow work exists. This is why the law of inspired action exists. You can't go back to the law of assumption again and reassume things over and over again. There are many spiritual teachers who will actually do the right thing and tell you once you use the law of assumption, you must actively move towards your goal rather than just live as though. These are the right teachers. So if you are watching a YouTuber and they tell you that, you know you're hearing it from someone who is actually willing to help you. If they tell you to ignore all the bad things, something's wrong with their teachings. The universe hands you lessons as opportunities to grow, create, and become. Be more careful who you listen to. This is your life. So, why are so many spiritual teachers swearing by the law of assumption? One only has to look at the real shadow side of New Age gurus. My channel is minuscule compared to some of these people because I endeavor to create this channel to give truths no matter if you want to hear it or not, and to educate people, especially on shadow work. And I have already succeeded by you watching this video. For others, it could be subscribers or getting you to take a course, by offering it to you free first, of course. In order to do that, they rely on you coming back for repeated viewings, binge watching their YouTube to help their algorithms. The only way to do it is that they can count on your life to be out of control, in a dark place, and wondering what you did wrong, so that they can offer you a solution and eventually pull money out of your pockets. My goal is to empower you with knowledge so that your life is going in the direction that you want it to be. In order to do that, there are many factors that play into manifesting. There are energies of letting go, shadow work, and removing blockages, finding your authentic self, having more confidence, inspired action, the drive to go out and create. The list goes on. So remember, use your thoughts and emotions carefully. Our consciousness is what really makes us unique compared with the millions of other sentient beings in the universe. They are gifts to us for a reason. We must be responsible for them. They are the primary things we use for manifesting, and there is no one right way to do it. Techniques, tools, and principles are all there to help you, but don't limit yourself. Ultimately, I hope to give you the tools you need to really create a reality you want. Remember, our reality is only a projection because our thoughts and emotions put into action is what shows the results of our manifestings. Our thoughts and emotions are the most important thing, but yet we know so little about it. Instead, we get blasted with tools and principles and we blindly follow them. It is like me handing you a guitar and teaching you to play one song. You won't be a master at a guitar with only one song. Instead, you need to learn about notes, strings, patterns for scales, arpeggio and other structures. What are pentatonic scale patterns, how to read music, treble and bass clef, minor and major keys, intervals, and everything in between to create harmonies, melodies, and rhythm. So, how well do you know about your thoughts and where they came from? How do we get emotions? I have a video that you can watch that will tell you what you need to know about the elusive thing, our mind and consciousness. Get to know yourself. The tools will be here, but you have to start with knowing yourself first. I'll see you in that video. Namaste.